All right, so today we're diving deep into the world of Gigi Yim.
Oh, Gigi Yim.
You know her,
Yeah, she's kind of a big deal right now.
a rising star, you could say.
Exactly. In Cantopop.
She first really hit the scene when she won Stars Academy.
Stars Academy, huge show.
Yeah, like a Hong Kong American Idol type
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
But the thing is, she was just 16 when she won.
Wow.
And since then, she's been in the group After Class.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of them.
And she's also releasing her own solo music.
Talented.
And even dipped her toes into a bit of acting.
Multi-talented.
We've got a bunch of stuff to dig through today. A Wikipedia, news articles, even some YouTube lyric analyses.
Sounds like we've got a lot to uncover.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, like, we're seeing her career unfold in real time.
She's still so young, right?
Yeah, so it's not just a retrospective look at her career.
We're catching her right in the middle of her journey.
Exactly like watching a star be born.
Yeah, and trying to figure out, like, what makes her tick.
How she's dealing with fame, especially at such a young age.
And how she's making her mark in the Cantopop scene.
Exactly. So let's start at the beginning.
Okay, so Gigi was born in Hong Kong.
But her parents are actually from mainland China.
Right, and she was raised by her aunt and uncle.
We found this really interesting thing on the website of her high school, St. Antonius Girls College.
Oh, what's that?
They have this whole page dedicated to Information Day.
Okay.
And they feature Gigi, both as a guest speaker and as student.
Wow, that's impressive.
Like, imagine being invited back to your high school so quickly after graduating to share your story.
It's like she's already achieved so much that she's a role model.
Totally. And all this while still balancing, a normal school life.
It really shows her dedication.
Yeah. And her love for singing goes way back.
To her childhood.
Yeah, she's always loved to
Oh,
sing.
where'd that come from?
It seems like The Voice of China was a big influence.
That makes sense. Such a popular show.
And her uncle was actually the one who first noticed her talent.
Oh, that's sweet.
Talk about a supportive family.
Right. For sure, that can make all the difference.
Especially in a demanding industry like music.
Think about it. She was juggling school, talent shows, vocal training, competitions.
All before she even turned 16.
That's incredible.
Then comes Stars Academy.
The show that made her a star.
And she wins the whole thing.
At 16, wow.
It launched her into a whole new level of fame.
Talk about pressure.
And not just the talent part, but the dealing with the public eye expectations.
Figuring out who you are as an artist with everyone watching.
Exactly. And you remember that performance of hers that went viral?
Which one?
Sandy Lamb's Without You, But Still Love You.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Amazing.
That was a cover, right?
Yeah, cover of a cover, actually.
Really?
The original was Promise Me by Beverly Craven.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. But Gigi's version, really resonated with people.
It's interesting how a cover can become so iconic.
Yeah, and on top of that win, she went on to snag 3 awards on Stars Academy.
Talk about a breakout moment.
Total game changer for her.
So then what happened?
Well, her debut single, Noble Truth, dropped just a few months later.
Wow, they didn't waste any time.
Talk about hitting the ground running.
Noble truth.
So what did you think of it?
Well, you can definitely hear that vocal power, that classic Cantopop sound.
Yeah, real anthem.
But there's also a kind of vulnerability in the lyrics.
Like, she's hinting at the pressures of fame.
Yeah, navigating expectations, staying true to herself.
Then you've got other singles like It's Complicated, Flame, Wanna Date You.
Those titles, though.
Catchy, right?
Yeah, they really grab your attention.
But there's often a deeper meaning behind them.
Like, it's complicated. It explores the ups and downs of relationships.
And Flame has this bolder energy.
A bit defiant, almost.
Oh, and I can't forget about her duet with Hubert Wu, Love is Beauty with a Flaw.
Oh, yeah, that one's interesting.
Because of their age difference.
It adds a whole other layer to the song.
And it shows she's willing to experiment.
Push boundaries, even this early in her career.
Speaking of pushing boundaries, she doesn't just sing. She's also part of the girl group After Class.
Right. Formed with 3 other Stars Academy alumni.
Chantel Yu, Wendy San, and Yumi Chung.
They each bring something unique to the group.
And their harmonies are amazing.
Totally.
And on top of that, she acted in the TVB series Forever Young at Heart.
Wow, she's really doing it all.
And she was even nominated for Most Improved Female Artist at the TVB Awards presentation.
This girl's on fire.
But amidst all this success, there's this one line in her song, Crystal Clear, that really stuck with me.
Oh, which line?
Feel the earth on the hill. I couldn't make it clear. On so face to face as to a stranger face, can recognize who wides the mirror of blood and fade.
Those are some interesting lyrics.
Even this early on, you can sense she's wrestling with her identity.
Like she's feeling seen, but not truly known.
Yeah, and it kind of foreshadows the struggles she'll face later with TVB.
Oh, right, the contract issues.
Yeah, multiple sources are hinting at trouble brewing.
Like what kind of trouble?
Whispers of her being frozen out, removed from programs.
That's not good.
And there's this whole contract renewal thing that's been going on.
It's a pretty common situation in the entertainment world.
Especially when a young artist gains a lot of popularity.
Yeah, suddenly the power dynamics shift.
TVB denies any problems.
Of course.
And Gigi's being pretty vague, talking about exploring new avenues.
Classic PR move.
Maybe. But then Jane Starrs mentioned Gigi writing a loyalty letter to TVB.
A loyalty letter. That sounds serious.
Yeah, it suggests there's more to the story than meets the eye.
Could be a strategic move, a way to negotiate better terms.
Or maybe a genuine expression of loyalty.
Trying to find a balance between gratitude and her own ambitions.
It definitely adds another layer of complexity to the whole situation.
This is turning into quite a drama.
We'll have to dive deeper into this whole TVB situation in part 2. So, even with all this stuff going on with TVB...
Yeah, the contract stuff.
Gigi is still pushing forward.
She doesn't seem to be letting it slow her down.
Exactly. Drama Panda announced her comeback.
Oh yeah, with the new music video?
The most touching time.
That's the one.
And her fans are going crazy for it.
It's proof of her connection with her fan base.
Totally. Even with like minimal promotion, the video's getting millions of views.
They're sticking by her.
Dedicated fans for sure.
Loyal.
Drama Panda even mentioned a press conference.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where fans were chanting slogans and cheering her on.
Wow, talk about supportive.
And get this, even some TVB executives and co-stars were there.
Interesting. So she's maintaining those relationships.
It seems like.
While also, doing her own thing.
It's a delicate balance.
She's navigating it well, though.
And speaking of doing her own thing.
Yeah.
She's also got a solo concert coming up at Kayatek Star Hall.
No way. That's huge.
The South China Morning Post made a big deal about it.
For good reason. That's a massive venue.
A major milestone for any artist.
Especially someone so young.
This concert could be a defining moment in her career.
A chance to solidify her identity as a solo artist.
Okay, so let's take a step back for a sec and talk about the music itself.
Okay, the Gigi Yim sound.
What makes it unique?
Well, it's definitely cantopop.
But with a modern twist.
Yeah, she's got those powerful vocals.
Like those soaring notes that are so typical of cantopop.
Exactly. Think back to Noble Truth.
That anthemic quality.
Yeah, the sense of overcoming obstacles.
But then you listen to a song like, it's complicated.
And there's a whole other side to her.
More introspective, vulnerable.
So showing her range.
And those catchy titles.
Oh yeah, Flame, Wanna Date You, Crystal Clear.
They draw you in.
But there's often more to them than meets the eye.
Like a deeper meaning beneath the surface.
Like she's speaking to her fans on multiple levels.
We also can't forget about the influence of Mandopop.
Right. It adds another layer of complexity to her sound.
Remember that time she was on Infinity and Beyond?
The Chinese singing competition?
Yeah, the South China Morning Post mentioned she even performed with Miriam Young.
Whoa, the cantopop legend.
Talk about a dream come true.
It must have exposed her to a whole new audience.
It seems like she's constantly pushing herself.
Trying new things, exploring different genres.
Not afraid to take risks.
A true artist.
So the big question is...
what's next for Gigi?
Will she stay with TVB? Go independent?
Focus more on acting.
What do you think?
It's hard to say, but one thing's for sure.
What's that?
Gigi Yim is a force to be reckoned with.
She's talented, driven, and connects with her fans.
Her journey so far is a testament to hard work and staying true to yourself.
Beautifully said.
But before we get too philosophical,
yeah,
there's one question we haven't really addressed.
What's that?
Who is Gigi, the person?
Behind all the fame and music.
We've seen glimpses, but what's at her core?
What motivates her?
Right, what drives her?
I think there's some clues in her story.
Like what?
Well, remember that thing from her high school's website?
About Information Day.
Yeah, she was invited back as both a guest speaker and a student.
Right, it was a small detail, but...
I think it says a lot about her.
Like what?
It shows a groundedness.
A desire to give back.
To the community that shaped her.
She could have just sent a video message.
But she chose to be there in person.
To connect with those students.
Yeah, like she's saying, I haven't forgotten where I came from.
I think that ties into the loyalty letter, too.
To TVB.
It wasn't just about strategy.
There was genuine gratitude there.
A recognition of the opportunities they gave her.
It's fascinating how she's balancing all these things.
The fame, the ambition.
But still holding on to her values.
Loyalty, humility, responsibility.
And let's not forget her upbringing.
Growing up in Hong Kong,
Raised by her aunt and uncle.
while her parents were in mainland China,
That must have shaped her.
instilled a sense of independence.
And resilience.
She had to learn to adapt.
To make things happen for herself.
And you see that in her music,
Her career choices.
everything she does.
She's not afraid to take risks.
To push boundaries,
To experiment.
that's what sets her apart.
So we've talked about like her talent, her drive, but
Yeah.
what do you think really motivates her? Like what's at the core of it all?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I think maybe there's some clues in everything we've learned about her so far.
Okay, yeah, like what?
Remember that thing from her high school's website?
About Information Day?
Yeah, she went back as both a guest speaker and a student.
Right, it was a pretty small detail
But I think it says a lot.
about her character.
Yeah, like her groundedness, you know?
She wants to give back to the community that supported her.
Exactly.
She could have just, like, sent a message or something.
Yeah, or done a video call.
But she was there in person,
Connecting with the students.
face to face.
Like she's saying, hey, I haven't forgotten where I came from.
I think that connects to the loyalty letter, too.
You think so?
Yeah, it wasn't just a PR move.
There was something real there.
A sense of obligation.
To TVB.
Recognizing the opportunities they gave her.
It's cool how she's navigating all of this,
The fame, the pressure,
but still holding on to her values.
loyalty, humility, responsibility.
Those are important.
And don't forget about her upbringing.
Right, being raised by her aunt and uncle.
While her parents were in mainland China,
That must have been tough.
but it probably also made her more independent.
And resilient.
Like she had to learn to adapt.
To figure things out on her own.
And you can see that in her career.
Her drive, her ambition.
She's not afraid to take risks.
To push boundaries.
To be different.
So what have we learned about Gigi Yim?
She's not just a talented singer.
Or a rising star.
She's a complex person.
With a unique story.
And she's constantly evolving.
Pushing herself to be better.
Her story's still being written.
That's what makes it so exciting.
Who knows what she'll do next?
What kind of music she'll create.
It's a mystery
But we'll be watching.
to see where her journey takes her.
This has been a really interesting deep dive.
We've covered a lot.
Her early life, Stars Academy,
Her music, her struggle.
her triumph,
Gigi Yim is a fascinating artist.
and her story is far from over.
So to our listener out there,
We encourage you to keep exploring.
listen to her music, watch her performances.
Discover the magic of Gigi Yim.
For yourself.
It's been a pleasure diving deep with you all.
Until next time.
Keep exploring and keep the music playing.